Welcome to Sound the Alarm. Today we are going to be talking about mysteries, symbols, and parables. Now, to get an understanding of the mysteries, the parables, and the symbols, we have to go back to the Torah. Some people say, what is the Torah? Well, it's the first 5 books of the Bible. Those first 5 books were given to Moses. And under the Old Testament, God revealed to Moses these mysteries, these parables, these symbols, for the Jewish people to learn about the coming of Messiah. So this was part of the plan that God had to reestablish paradise in the earth. Remember, Adam and Eve were cast out of the garden because they were eating out of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And if you look up that is the Logos way of understanding Scripture. And so what happened? God divorced Adam and Eve out of the garden. Now, to get an understanding of the Bible and the 2 types of teachings that there are, one of them is the oral Torah. And there's also the written Torah. So all of Jesus' teachings were taught from the written Torah. And all the scribes and the Pharisees were from the oral Torah. And this is why there is so much controversy today, because people are still trying to get an interpretation of Scripture, an oral interpretation or traditional interpretation of man, rather than taking it literally out of the Torah. And what Yeshua did when he taught the mysteries, he taught the symbols, he taught parables. And we want to go back to the way Yeshua taught. So the Torah reveals the mysteries of God. The Torah is all about God. And the Torah is hidden in the mysteries, hidden in the Word. And it's up to us to go in and open it up, to search out the matter. Jesus taught from the written Torah, which brought forth revelation, and where God has built His church on that foundation of revelation. Let's go to Matthew 16, starting at verse 13. When Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, "Who do men say that I am, the Son of Man am?" And they said, "Some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets." So let me just stop there. They obviously knew that Jesus was more than just an ordinary man. They knew he was a prophet, because a prophet was one that interpreted Scripture. Okay, let's go on. And Simon Peter answered and said, "Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus answered and said unto him, "Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." So what I want to focus on is when Jesus told Peter, "Flesh and blood hath not revealed this to you, Peter, but my Father which is in heaven." So, and Jesus goes on to say, "I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it." And he says, "I will give you, Peter, the keys of the kingdom." Now, when God gave Peter the keys of the kingdom, he was giving the church those keys of revelation. And if you study that word keys, it means kleos in the Greek. And that means to open up or shut up. And when we see here, it's symbolic of opening up revelation or shutting the doors of revelation. So God has given us a mandate as a church to open up revelation for the people. Because in this opening up of revelation, we set the captives free. People that are bound, when they hear this revelatory word, they become unbound. They become free once again. Because it says in Scripture that the truth will set you free. Do you know that there are 4 levels of biblical understanding? And I'll go over those 4 levels. The first level is the Fashat level. That's the literal or the simple interpretation of Scripture. It's the way most churches teach. That is the breadth. Then you go on to the Remez, which is the second level. It's the parables. It's the allegories. That's the length. Then you go to the Darasha. That is to seek and to search out these scriptures. That is the depth. Notice we're going deeper as we go higher in levels of understanding. Then the highest level that we teach is the Sod level. That level is the mystical or the inner level of Scripture. That is the height. And when you see those 3 words, PRDS, the beginnings of those 3 words, it means paradise. It means a place of learning. So God never intended us to stay on that lowest level, the Fasat level. He wanted us to keep seeking Him, keep going deeper, which means you're going higher in revelation, which means the higher you go, the closer you come to God. So God is explaining to us now. He's expounding His word to us now as we see the time approaching of His return. So as we go on to see that Greek word meaning pardes or paradise, not all the scribes and Pharisees taught the oral Torah. Some knew the written Torah, but refused to teach them. And these were the lawyers, these were the scribes, these were the Pharisees of Jesus' day. And what Yeshua is telling us, that we need to take His scriptures and open them up. Get into the deepest level, get into that Sod level of understanding. And I'll quickly, before we close today, I'll go into the book of Luke. Let's go to Luke 11, starting at verse 52. Woe unto you lawyers. Remember, Jesus was talking to those scribes, the lawyers. Lawyer is an interpreter of the law. And he tells them, for ye have taken away the key of knowledge. Ye entered not in yourselves, and them that were entering in ye hindered. So what Jesus is saying is, you had the keys of revelation, but you didn't open this scripture up. You didn't even get in to understand who I am. And those that were following you, you locked them out as well. So He rebuked those people. If today's devotional, if today's message has been a blessing to you, we invite you out to Living Faith Fellowship Church. Our address is 15516 South Crenshaw Boulevard in the beautiful city of Gardena. You can also make contact with us on our website, www.lffla.org. Please make a comment to us. If you're hurting, if you need prayer, if you need direction in your life, we're there for you. So until we see you again, Shalom in Yeshua.